Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. It's Monday, and I have the pleasure of sharing my thoughts and feelings on the latest episode of Naked and Afraid of Love. And just as I predicted, another participant has tapped out and left the show. Want to find out who it was? I'll happily share my answer in the next few minutes. The episode opens up with the group playing games like bowling and basketball on the island. They were able to play these games with plenty of sticks, coconut shells, and abundance of time, to which I'd say more power to them. The games are also meant to be an icebreaker for everyone to get to know one another. During this time, Bennett admits to being jealous and insecure over Michael and Britt's connection. And at this time, I'm pretty done with Bennett. Bennett has several other women who are better looking and have a better personality than Britt who want to make a genuine connection with him, but he's too busy showing feminine energy in regards to Britt and Michael's connection. Bennett either needs to pick somebody or leave at this point. We then get a scene of Lauren and Chelsea together. Lauren is sharing her frustration with not finding a connection on the island, and Chelsea is agreeing with her. At this stage of the game, I'm a little surprised that neither of these two women had found a connection on the island. But under deeper observation, I think their passive personalities overshadow their outer beauty. We then see a scene of Lauren playing in the ocean by herself, which was pretty depressing, might I add, and Jay comes along to keep her company. Now at this point, we all know what Jay wants to do. He wants to get in Lauren's head to see if she will grant him an audience as well as a date. Well, I'm proud to say that Lauren saw right through Jay's BS from a mile away, and she wasn't having any of it. Lauren didn't even bother putting Jay in the friend zone. She completely curved him, and it was so bad that it had him at a loss for words. Jay then leaves Lauren and goes to Chelsea, and in the back of my mind, I'm hoping that he doesn't try to hit on her either, because at this point it's just embarrassing. But after chatting with Chelsea about his purpose for being on the island, he realizes that Cassalay was the one for him this entire time. So Jay then has his alone time with Rachel, and he tells Rachel that he must cease their connection so that he can fully pursue Cassalay. And while I'm happy that Cassalay finally got the man that she wanted, Rachel experiences her fourth friend zone by a man on the island. On the outside, she seems to be holding it all together, but on the inside, I bet she wants to punch the air repeatedly. Jay finally has a scene with Cassalay, and he tells her that he chooses her. She becomes giddy like a kid on Christmas, and the two of them share a long, tight, passionate hug together, while facing each other, and with no sexual barriers between them. If they were any closer together, Cassalay would be pregnant with baby number 2. We then move on from the Jay show to get a scene with Barack and Crystal. They are shown in the ocean playing with starfish and sharing plenty of awkward moments. Barack is definitely into Crystal, but you can tell that Crystal is keeping Barack at bay with a proverbial jab. In her interview, Crystal described Barack as someone who doesn't know how to treat women. And if you know Crystal by now, you know that she doesn't hesitate to friend zone anybody. Unfortunately, Barack doesn't get this message, and when Stefan comes along, he asks Crystal out on a date and she doesn't hesitate to accept. Crystal and Stefan go on their date to the movies, which is them sitting on some leaves and watching the waves in the ocean. And during this time, Crystal seems pretty receptive to this, and it seems like she's having most fun she's ever had with any guy on the island. Unfortunately, this date catches the attention of Ariel, who has been largely absent from the show since Stefan friend-zoned her. We then go to Rachel and Bennett. Bennett is still in his feelings about Britt and Michael, and Rachel uses this time to invite Bennett out on an adventure. They hike over this big rock near the ocean, and they jump off of it. We as the audience clearly see that Rachel is into Bennett, and is willing to give him a chance at finding a connection. But unfortunately, Bennett doesn't seem as into Rachel as she is into him. Throughout the episode, we get several scenes of Michael and Britt. They are hugging, kissing, and forming a deeper connection, and it's really boring to say the least. At nighttime, the entire group, except Lauren, participates in a game of truth and dare. Cassalay is the first one chosen, and she is dared to make out with Jay. The two of them have no problem showing the group how much they like each other, and Cassalay was comfortable enough to put her hot pocket on Jay. Jay was also comfortable enough to tell the entire group how he feels about Cassalay. Barack is next, and he chooses truth. Barack is asked who he finds most interesting on the island. He replies that all the women are beautiful in their own way, but he would pick Crystal, which really doesn't move Crystal at all. Stefan is next, and he picks Dare. This is when Ariel dares Stefan to pick which private couple shelter they plan to sleep in for the night. which is pretty uncomfortable to watch. Mainly because we can clearly see that Stefan really isn't into Ariel, but he is nice and tries to spare her feelings. The next morning, Stefan and Ariel have their alone time. Ariel makes it known that they haven't had their alone time since the first day. Ariel also makes it known to Steph that she was pretty upset seeing him with Crystal. Stefan hears her and vows to take her out on more dates. We then go back to Lauren, who I knew would eventually leave before the show ended, and in this scene she officially taps out of the process. The group seems understanding as to why Lauren wants to leave, and they give her a proper farewell. We then go back to Bennett and Rachel, and they're going diving in the ocean, much like Rachel and Mike did a few episodes ago. Later in the episode, Bennett tells Rachel that he likes her as a friend, but wants to explore his connection with Britt to see if something is there. Bennett, you had at least 2 women who want you. 2 beautiful women, might I add. And your plan is to go after a woman that wants no parts of you? Good luck. We then get a one-on-one with Candace and Crystal admits that she has had thoughts of leaving as well. She tells us as the audience that she has friend-zoned Steph, and she tells Candace that she, meaning Candace, is the only reason that she's staying. Candace is clearly not about that life, and she makes it known to us, not Crystal, that she still has feelings for Bennett. So as you can see, the entire situation on this island is messy. The episode ends with a scene featuring Jay and Cassalay. They seem to be getting extremely close together, but Jay shares with us that he is afraid to tell Cassalay a secret that he has. My guess is that he doesn't want to be judged the same way he happily judged her for having a kid, but we shall see. Overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, this episode was a 4. On top of this episode having very few scenes with Chelsea, it was pretty depressing to see these participants stuck in a process where they are either being friend-zoned or friend-zoning one another, and there are only a few legitimate connections being made. I'm pretty sure that at least 3 more participants will be gone before the show's over. But once again, we shall see. Well folks, this marks the end of my review, but let me know what you thought about the episode or the review in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to reply. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.